People keep asking if they are too young to become an electrician. And let me keep it real with you. That question is already putting you way behind because I started young. I started at 19 years old, and that is exactly what put me ahead. In this video, I'll be giving you 3 reasons why you are not too young to become an electrician. Reason number 1. The first reason is that you have time. And most people waste that time without even realizing it. Because when you are young, you think that you got time to wait. You think that you can always start later and you can figure things out later. But really, that is the time you should be starting. And I remember that I could have easily went that whole route myself. I could have stayed comfortable. I could have worked that Amazon, DoorDash, Uber Eats job, did what everybody else was doing, telling myself I'll figure it out eventually. But that's what most people do. They stay in that phase where they really just moving, but you ain't going nowhere. And it feel normal because everybody else around you being stagnant as well. But I decided to do something different. I decided myself to start early. It didn't feel like some big decision. It just felt like I was trying to do something different in my life. But looking back, that one decision separated me more than anything. Because while people my age were still trying to figure it out, taking on college debt, switching jobs, taking their gap years, going day by day without direction, I'm over here building something real every single week, every single day, even when it didn't feel like it. And that's what I need you to understand. Because in the beginning, it might feel slow. It might feel like you just showing up, learning small things, asking questions, trying to keep up. And you might not feel ahead, you might even feel behind. But what you do not see is that everything is stacking in the background. Every day you show up, you showing up, and you learning something real. Every day and every week, every month, you getting a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident. And that adds up fast. And after a few months, you go look up and you go say you not the same person anymore. And then a year goes by and now you actually knowing what you're doing. But you're knowing a lot more than that person who might have started a little bit later. You know more earlier. I got in at 19 years old. And I know more than a first year 45-year-old apprentice. And that's what people miss. Because being young, people make it seem like you got time to wait. But what being young really means is that you got time to build. Because if you wait, that time is going to disappear and you ain't going to have nothing to show for it. But if you start, that same time turns into something that keeps growing. Everything keeps stacking. Your money, your understanding. And before you realize it, you ahead without even trying. And that's what it comes down to. You have time. And if you use it right, you can get ahead without even trying to compete with anybody else. Now I've seen how that play out myself. The people who wait, they go end up in the same spot later asking them, oh, I wish I would have done this sooner. And then you look up and you realize the years went by. And yeah, you were busy. You might have been hard working, but you wasn't building anything. And now you're trying to play catch up. And that is a hard position to be in. Because now you feel that pressure. Every decision feels bigger. When you starting early, you don't feel that same pressure. I just got approved to buy my first house. I just bought a car. Things that people my age not even thinking about. And I'm only now 21 years old. Time is on my side. I have room to grow. I have room to fail. I have mistakes that I can make and still be okay. I can afford to take time to get better without feeling like I'm running out of time. And that is what people will lose when they wait too long. And I have seen that difference clearly. I have seen people my age still trying to figure out what they want to do while I was already building experience, already getting better, already moving forward. I'm not smarter than nobody else. I just started. And that is why this matters so much. Because people will overcomplicate it and they think they need to have everything figured out. And you might wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years when you don't. You just need to start and let time do the work for you. Because time is going to pass either way, whether you like it or not. So you can either let that time pass and have nothing to show for it, or you could use it to build something that's going to grow and grow and grow. And that's why when I hear people ask, are they too young? It don't even make sense to me. Because you being young is not the problem. It is the opportunity that you're missing, that you're not gonna take. Because the earlier you start, the more you stack. And the more you stack, the future you will be ahead without even trying to prove anything to anybody else. Let's go into reason 2. The second reason is that you can make money earlier than most people. And that was something I really didn't understand until I was experienced both sides of it. Because before I became an electrician in high school, I was working these regular jobs. I'm busting tables. I'm doing what most people my age was doing. And I remember what that felt like. Those are very hard hours that you're putting in, at the end of the week or even 2 weeks when you get paid. And it just feels like nothing is changing. You're getting just enough to survive. You're getting just enough to maintain, but you're not actually getting ahead. And it feels normal because everybody else around you is in the same position, so you don't really question it. But when I got into this, even in the beginning when the money wasn't really anything crazy, I noticed something different right away. I'm getting paid every single week. And that alone felt different. It felt more consistent. I felt the control. And even though the numbers weren't insane yet, I could see that this was something that if I stick with this, I'm going to build me an empire. And as time went on, I started learning more, getting better, taking on more responsibility, working more hours when I could. And I saw a shift that turned from a small gap into a real big canyon. Not only in skills, but in income. I was making what I made in 2 weeks in 1 week. I never forget my foreman gave me a check. And it literally was for what I would have made 3 weeks working. And I got paid in that 1 week. And that payoff was bigger than anything I could have ever expected. Because I got paid more that week than some teachers get paid right now. I got paid than somebody's whole college refund. And when I started early, it wasn't just about time. I'm putting myself in a position where I'm making this real money before most people even get started. And that's going to change how you move, because now I'm not only working just to get by. I'm not only working just to survive. I'm working because I'm seeing progress from this, and I'm actually planning something for my future. I have options. And it's best to have options young. When they say the world is your oyster, that is true. I took this so serious because of the money that I was making so young. I saw that this was an invaluable opportunity because I'm building my foundation early. I have more time to stack my money. I have more time to save my money. I have more time to invest my money. And I'm just putting myself and my future family in a better position overall. So if you wait, you're just delaying something that could have worked out in your favor. And this is why I'm here telling you this right now. It is not going to be about how much you make. It's going to be about when you start making it. Because that timing is what's really going to matter. And that timing is going to separate you from being undesirable to being undeniable. Because I've seen what it's like to finally have my efforts translate into something real every single week. And that's going to change your mindset completely. Let's go on to reason 3. The third reason is that this builds who you are as a person. And this was something I didn't even think about. I'm thinking about the money. I'm thinking about the skills. But I'm not even thinking about how much I'm changing over time. Because when you in something like this, you cannot move the same way that you used to. I came from high school. Showing up early, being on time, staying consistent, learning even when I don't feel like it. That was not an easy adjustment. I remember there were days I didn't even feel like getting up. Days where I was tired. Days where the work was just so hard, but you still got to show up. Then I was doing that over and over and over again. But I started to notice something. I was becoming a lot more disciplined, and I wasn't even forcing it. Just from doing the work consistently. And that carried into every other aspect in my life. I'm moving different. I'm handling people different. I'm handling my money different. I'm thinking more so towards the future now. And that is what this trade will do for you. And it's better to have this discipline young because it's going to affect every single aspect of your life. The sooner you get into this trade, the sooner you know how to manage this money. The sooner you get time management skills. The sooner you're able to put yourself in a good position to be able to feed yourself and your future family for the rest of your life. So don't think for a second that you are too young to get into this trade. If you got your high school diploma or GED, your driver's license, social security card, birth certificate, and you can pass a drug test, you belong. And that's at any age you in. It doesn't matter if you're just getting out of high school. It doesn't matter if you took a few gap years. You can become an electrician as long as you show up, as long as you stay consistent and know that you are building something over time and you're developing a whole plethora of skills and more than just money. So, like I said, it never makes sense to me when people ask if they are too young because this is the best position that you could be in. You have time to build, you have the opportunity to start making money earlier than most people, and you have time to develop discipline before a lot of people can figure out how to stay consistent. And if you're looking for a guide on how to become an electrician and get into an apprenticeship without college and without debt, click that link in the description down below. Because I know what it feels like to not have anyone to be able to turn to get into this trade. It's time to be undeniable. Let's go.